animal pen. How utterly charming.
No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time with the others.
My.
Why, you're there you are. Not too. In the meantime, you'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the off dungeon. You have the gall to.
Index fingers.
My word. You do seem a bit. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather. A new life awaits. Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those? Oh, do go on. I won't hold.
Currents of magic.
My, look at the concentration. There you have it. See? For your own peace. Good gods. There's.
A young magister stands pale and silent. Behind the magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your... Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does. Aren't you enterprising? I'll let Waters tell you no what's going. She with the book.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
She looks up at you with a mirth.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Finn was killed by Source. It looks more like a passenger managed to slip their collar. Listen, I could use someone to keep... Bring me a good lead, thanks. I just... No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time with the others.
A no doesn't become a yes over time, you know.
It was one of them. I know it.
Oh, there you are. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of...
The young woman seems about to raise her hand.
Who indeed? Why, my name is, Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb.
The children break out into...
I say, it is.
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and get in.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and...
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? Like yourself, maybe. I don't mind the kiddies, usually. Nope, trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utter thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive. You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes close as quickly as they came.
Good luck, Chief.
Magister's more concerned than your appetite.
Well, well. What have we here?
The lizard looks you up and down. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
I'm inspecting your teeth. There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Oh, goodness, no. And don't even mention the demon's test. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
Insufferable, surely. What are you trying to hear anyway? I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough.
Yes, well, I'll count that. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The very basics then. So, 3 questions as per your own testament. That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry.
You put a knuckle in it. I'm trying to concentrate.
You should probably come to terms with the fact that you've half a mind, full stop. You'll never still. Hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify for a position in a lesser house.
They're picking us off one by one.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat.
No. Insufferable, surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right?
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but...
Listen up, Ghetto. You hear that?
You've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right...
He turns his head toward you, looking you up and down.
You look like a Ghetto to me. Listen, if you're interested. Or get gone if you aren't.
His eyes snap open. He looks...
Murder? I wouldn't know anything about... I kill a man. He knows who...
His eyes flutter shut.
Whether they catch me is another matter. But I ain't one to hack the ship, of course.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates. The groaning of wood from floor to ceiling.
And?
There has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the
Sick as a leper's cat. From the state of it, I'd say she's being cared for by a bunch of beardless babes who... But there's more. Listen close. There now, just like that.
Squeeze!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy.
There, you heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, Ghetto. Good news. It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Burn my beard. That means if we've been traveling for... Yes, only 10 captain, actually. And that figure tells me...
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard.
That'll be all. Thank ye kindly, Ghetto.
He continues stroking his beard, a beatific...
How dare you?
Did you see the
classify
body?
this?
They ought to let you taste a bit.
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more
I'm busy
concerned.
watching for clues, sorcerer. Go take...
Don't you get
A
saucy
scruffy
with
man
me.
lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile,
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer.
rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning. The man named Ifan beckons again.
I'm trying to concentrate.
He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer...
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander, many...
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger. Ifan grins, flashing pointed one.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants.
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with...
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. The Joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there. Wonder if we'll get to meet the Ringmaster himself. Not interested in the son of the Divine himself? I don't blame...
What are you conspiring about over there?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a big...
Name!
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a
Away with you!
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips, as he leans back.
Insufferable, surely.
What are you trying to hear, anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He reaches out and examines your face, tugging at your ear.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
I am reading. My book is in my hands, my face turned away from you.
He grabs a metal plate and watches his reflection with one eye as the other shifts left to right.
No, they are working quite adequately. It seems you are at fault. Predictable, really. Oh? Oh, I see. I crossed a cult. You have my apologies, fella. Perhaps I should demand the same from those red-cloaked humans. They laid their hands on me more than once. Ah, yes. The nicety. My name is Fane. I am a scholar from... Well, it is pleasurable to meet you. Hardly. I've been reading this one for several minutes, and I have yet to find a single It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history? Most unusual. And if it's not too rude... No. I want to know about the... This text tells me that they created all... Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
The elf's face freezes for just a second before he waves his hand.
Oh, it's just one of my idle curiosities. Now please, run along. I have a world to decide.
No amount of pestering will get the elf to take his eyes off.
Here's the register, ma'am. Good, good. Magister Williams has just about done you faring okay so far.
He tugs the collar of his uniform.
Sorry you're upset, ma'am, but you head on in now, William.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow...
So you admit it, then? You murdered that...
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the big...
She turns her head and looks you...
There are others whose lives must...
Good God! You there, sorcerer! Go and fetch Magister Siwan! We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its fun.
She reaches for her collar and simply removes...
I'm just about to create...
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precise.
There's a killer about, after all.
What's happened?
What happened? Must have been water. Wine, for goodness sake. Oh.
The lizard's eyes close as he... The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor, his great beard twisted and tangled around him. He is stocked. You hear a faint thud, thud, thud. The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor. Ivan lies motionless, curled on the ground like an animal. Under his shaggy hair, his eyes flicker open.
Lucian.
Ivan cries out, then his eyes fall close. As the dead man's flesh slides down your throat, you feel your heart is heavy. You know too much. A bright light blinds you, then fades. Suddenly you're on this She reaches a hand toward the memory's end. You are no longer Finn.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
The Magister lies on the floor. The young woman lies in a heap on the floor. She's breathing, she doesn't stir.
That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards. Not long before this thing snaps into splinters.
You pass through the door, and suddenly the skeleton is quickly leaping.
No! It catches fire. It turns into...
The skeleton looks up, and...
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
The skeleton groans and looks back to his...
I know your god did not gift you with much, but kind... Do you look at me and think, why yes, there is someone with organs enough to drown? No, damp robes are the most I have to fear. Once this glorified skiff hits... Whereas you, I believe, have lifeboats to pointlessly squabble over. I believe you did. Although I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed, which allowed... A mask that was stolen by that damned witch. Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools, and I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead hands.
The skeleton holds up his book in one quick...
I am trying to discover, and I will be damned if I let the lives of some mayflower... Go on, go, swear more...
God damn it! I need to get off this wreck, and quick. On the hull.
The marking on the door was painted recently. You press your palm against the door to open it. It doesn't budge. The door groans.
Something's breaking through. What in the hells are those things? I need to get out of here. Now! That means there's still a chance.
Shut your trap, kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like little...
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to know...
But there were other people down there.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you! There's a ladder right over there.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hit.
If you can walk, get your... I thought void woken was supposed to be scary. Void woken!
Beardless bugs won't sink the ship on my watch.
They who are about to triumph.
I've faced worse.
We make a pretty good team. I hear something. It's Magister Siwan, the one who put on this damn collar.
Sounds like she needs help.
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem the bleeding of a gushing wound. With jagged movements, she raises her clenched fist and holds out a length of cloth, soaked with some kind of strong blood, quickly soaks through the cloth. Magister Siwan's mouth opens and closes, her eyes wide in terror. It's working. The pressure is stemming the flow of blood. Siwan, something within the ship, snaps. The floorboards shudder. Siwan struggles to her feet, clinging to you tightly. The ship lets out a...
Gods. It's ripping the ship apart. This is it. She's going down.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
I've danced with death before, but that was a particularly intimate waltz. I suppose I'm the lone survivor.